The signal came without warning. One moment, the void of space was quiet, the stars shining cold and distant. The next, a strange blip appeared on Earth's deepest listening arrays. A sequence of sounds no one could immediately decode. It was chaotic, broken, almost desperate. Scientists stared at the monitors, their faces pale under the flickering lights. Military officers gathered nearby, eyes sharp, hands tense. "Sir, this isn't like anything we've ever seen," muttered Lieutenant Arlen, pointing to the oscillating spikes on the screen. It sounds almost like a warning." Admiral Caver leaned over, his jaw tight. "Where is it coming from?" "Sector K-79, the technician replied. That's deep outside our patrol lines, beyond the colony's reach. It's isolated. All communications from there went silent months ago." A hush fell over the room. Sector K-79 had been humanity's first step toward expansion. Small colonies had been sent to mine resources and study local phenomena, but one by one, reports had stopped. Earth had assumed they were lost to natural disasters, rogue asteroids, or equipment failure. But this signal, it was different. Someone or something was trying to communicate, urgently, from the edge of extinction. Admiral Caver's eyes narrowed. Could it be survivors? The technician shook his head slowly. I don't know. This is not human, but it's structured, like a message. Outside the observation bay, the night sky stretched endlessly. Ships in Earth's orbit glinted in the darkness, silent sentinels waiting for orders. Down below, humanity's governments held emergency sessions, watching, listening. Panic whispered in their ears, but it was mixed with curiosity, a dangerous combination. By the next hour, a small task force was assembled. Not a full fleet, not yet. Earth did not want to provoke anything unknown, but this signal demanded action. Captain Lyra Dane, a woman known for her calm and precise command, was chosen to lead the investigation. Her crew was small but experienced, trained for the unknown, for situations where survival meant outthinking the enemy, not overpowering it. When Lyra saw the signal for herself, her stomach tightened. The blips, the strange, broken pulses. It was chaotic, yes, but underneath that chaos, she could feel something else. Pattern. Someone or something was alive. Someone wanted help, or was warning them. "This sector," she said quietly to her second-in-command, Lieutenant Halen, "it's supposed to be empty, or gone. The colonies disappeared months ago, and yet, someone is reaching out. Why now? And why us?" The decision was made to launch immediately. The humans had no choice. Ignoring a possible distress call from beyond the colonies could cost lives, or worse, leave humanity unprepared for whatever had caused the silence. As their ship, the Resolute, left Earth's orbit, tension filled the cabin. Every crew member knew the risks. They were moving into territory unclaimed, uncharted, and possibly deadly. Sensors scanned the darkness ahead, trying to catch a flicker of movement, a shadow of an enemy, or signs of life. For hours, nothing appeared. The stars remained cold and distant, indifferent to the small speck of human technology moving silently through the void. Then, at the edge of the sector, it happened. A flash of light, almost imperceptible at first, rippled across the monitors. The signal intensified. It was no longer steady, it had urgency. And then, the Resolute sensors picked something else. Large objects moving at impossible speeds. Shadows in the blackness, far larger than any human craft. The crew's hearts raced. "They're not human," Halen said quietly. "Nothing we've ever built could move like that." Lyra's hand hovered over the comms. "Prepare defensive systems," she ordered, though a part of her knew it might not be enough. Whatever was out there, it was not just a threat. It was a predator watching, waiting. Suddenly, the signal changed. Patterns emerged that were almost readable, almost intelligible. Scientists back on Earth scrambled to decode it in real time. Every pause, every spike, every broken tone was significant. And then, a phrase crystallized through the chaos. "They are coming. Survive." A shiver ran down Lyra's spine. They? Who is they? And survive? Survive what? The answer came faster than anyone expected. From the darkness ahead, the shadows began to move in formation. Ships, massive beyond comprehension, emerged like predators from the void. Their surfaces glinted with technology that bent light, shields humming with power humans could only dream of. The alien fleet was silent, lethal, and precise. No signals, no warnings, just overwhelming presence. The crew of the Resolute stared in awe and fear. Every training session, every battle simulation had not prepared them for this. These were not raiders or pirates. These were hunters. Lyra's voice cut through the tension. All stations, defensive positions. Scan for weak points. Sensors online, every channel. Do not underestimate them. The human ship felt small, fragile. A single heartbeat in a galaxy that suddenly seemed vast and merciless. But Lyra knew something the aliens did not. Humans were unpredictable. Humans could adapt. Humans could fight with intelligence, with courage, with cunning that no alien could predict. The first contact was brief. The alien ships moved with terrifying coordination, testing the humans' reactions. Shields flared, engines roared, weapons hummed, but no attack came yet. The humans were being watched, measured, analyzed. And then, the signal resumed, broken but clear. Do not follow. Leave. They will erase you. Lyra clenched her fists. Erase us? Who are they to threaten humanity? She whispered. No, we will not run. Back on Earth, alarms sounded. Governments convened emergency councils. Military strategists debated sending reinforcements, but no one knew if it would be enough. Every ship humanity could spare was already en route to the sector, but even their combined fleets would face challenges beyond imagination. The Resolute pressed on, following the signal. It led them deeper into the sector, to the edge of a dead colony, where silence and destruction ruled. Entire settlements were gone, planets stripped bare of life. Smoke rose in faint plumes, ruins scattered across barren surfaces. And yet, in the midst of death, the signal pulsed again, faint, desperate, calling humanity forward, daring them to uncover the truth. Lyra's voice was steady, though her heart raced. We follow it. Whatever lies ahead, we face it. Humanity does not hide. Humanity does not surrender. In that moment, as the Resolute plunged deeper into the darkness, the crew understood something vital. The galaxy did not yet know the true strength of humans, but it would. One way or another, humanity's answer was coming, and it would not be quiet. The signal blazed ahead, a ghostly beacon in the black void, and behind it, unseen and silent, waited the force that had destroyed humanity's colonies, a force that believed it could erase humans from the stars. They were wrong, and humanity was ready to prove it. The Resolute moved silently through the void, its engines whispering against the black emptiness. The signal had led them to the edge of the destroyed colonies, a graveyard of human settlements stripped bare. Smoke spiraled from shattered structures, and twisted metal reflected the dim light of distant stars. Every crew member aboard felt the weight of the unknown pressing down. They were far from home, and the silence was almost deafening. Captain Lyra Dane walked the bridge, her eyes scanning every readout. Sensors picked up nothing unusual at first, only debris, wreckage, and the ghostly traces of life that once had been. But she knew better. The signal had been urgent, desperate. Someone or something had wanted them here, and that meant danger or hope. Captain, Lieutenant Halen said, pointing to the main screen. I'm picking up movement. Small signatures. Approaching fast. Lyra squinted. Movement? Where? Show me. On the display, dark shapes emerged from the blackness. At first, they looked like drifting debris, but the pattern of movement betrayed intent. They were intelligent and fast, much faster than anything humanity had built. They're not human, Halen muttered under his breath. Lyra's jaw tightened. They're not supposed to be human. Prepare defenses. Sensors, shields, weapons, everything. I want this ship ready for anything. The The crew moved quickly, trained hands sliding over controls, checking systems, scanning the void. Outside, the approaching objects revealed themselves in greater detail. Sleek, angular ships, black as night, with surfaces that seemed to swallow light. They moved with perfect coordination, as if part of a single mind. And yet they made no sound, no comms, no signals, nothing. Only the faint pulse of energy waves against the Resolute's shields. "Contact is closing," Halen reported. "They're surrounding us." Lyra nodded. "Stay calm. We're small, but we're fast. And humans are clever. Do not panic. Wait for my orders." The alien ships formed a crescent around the Resolute, observing, analyzing. Then, without warning, one of the aliens moved forward, coming within sensor range. It was massive, larger than anything the humans had imagined, its surface shimmering with energy fields, weapons folded and hidden. For a moment, nothing happened, and then the signal returned. "Leave now. You are not welcome." The words pulsed through the ship, distorted and eerie, as if coming from a being that had never spoken in human tones. But the meaning was clear. Humanity was being warned or threatened. Lyra clenched her fists. "We don't leave. Not now. Not ever. They tried to erase our colonies. They tried to erase us. And now we're here. We survive no matter what." The first shot came suddenly. A beam of energy streaked across the void, slicing through the emptiness. The Resolute's shields flared, absorbing the impact. Alarms rang across the bridge, lights flashing red. The alien had tested them, seeing how they would react, measuring the response. "Return fire," Lyra shouted, her voice calm but commanding. "No hits yet. Defensive maneuvers only. Do not engage aggressively until I say so." The crew obeyed. Small pulse weapons lit up the darkness, glancing off the alien ship's shields. The humans were outmatched. Their weapons, powerful by human standards, seemed almost trivial against the alien craft. But the humans had something the aliens did not anticipate: unpredictability. "Flank them," Halen suggested. "They move as one, but their formation is tight. We can force them to split." Lyra nodded. "Do it." Engines full. Avoid direct contact. The Resolute darted like a shadow through the void, twisting, weaving, evading the alien formations. Sensors recorded every move the alien ships made, storing patterns and weaknesses. The humans were learning, adapting, surviving. Hours passed in tense silence, punctuated by sudden flashes of combat. Every exchange tested nerves and skill. The aliens were relentless but careful, avoiding full commitment. They wanted to intimidate, to scare the humans into retreat. But the humans refused. Then came the unexpected. One of the alien ships broke formation, moving aggressively toward a nearby debris field. Halen's sensors flared. "They're trying to trap us. Captain, if we follow." "Do it," Lyra interrupted. "We've trained for the impossible. We can handle it." The Resolute pursued, dodging fragments of destroyed colonies and abandoned stations. The alien ship led them into a narrow canyon of asteroids, where navigation was treacherous. The aliens believed humans would panic, crash, or be destroyed by their own recklessness. But humans thrived under pressure. Lyra guided the ship through the tight spaces with precision, exploiting the aliens' expectation of fear. "Now," she shouted, and the Resolute's pulse weapons fired at the alien ship. The shot hit a weak point identified from sensor analysis, a tiny gap in the energy field. The alien faltered, recoiling. For the first time, the humans realized these creatures were not invincible. "They're retreating?" Halen said in disbelief. "Not yet," Lyra replied. "They're cautious. They've never met humans like this. They've never met humans who don't panic. Stay alert." The alien fleet slowly regrouped, pulling back into the darkness. The Resolute followed cautiously, sensors scanning every shadow. The humans were battered but unbroken. They had survived the first encounter, and that survival carried a powerful message. Humans would not be erased. On the bridge, crew members exchanged glances, a mix of fear and exhilaration. Every heart raced, every mind was alert, but a spark of hope ignited. If humans could survive one encounter with these superior forces, perhaps they could strike back. The signal pulsed again, faint, almost like a heartbeat. Do not follow. You cannot win. Lyra stared at the monitor. They don't understand humans. They've underestimated us for the last time. We don't run. We survive. And if they threaten us again, we fight. In Earth's command centers, reports flooded in. Scientists, military officers, and leaders listened in tense silence. Humanity had made contact with something beyond comprehension, a force that had destroyed their colonies. And yet, one small ship had survived. One crew had faced the impossible and lived. The galaxy so far did not fear humans. It did not yet know what humans were capable of. But the resolute crew understood the truth. Survival was not about raw power. It was about intelligence, courage, and adaptability. And humans had all three in abundance. As the ship drifted in the quiet void, Lyra Dane prepared her next moves. The alien fleet had shown them weakness, hesitation, and a fatal underestimation of humanity. The Resolute would record every detail, every movement, every strategy, and use it. Humans would strike back. Humans would reclaim what was theirs. And somewhere deep in the darkness, the aliens watched, realizing too late that the humans they sought to erase were unlike anything they had faced before. For the first time, a flicker of fear passed through their ranks. Humans survived. Humans adapted. And humans were coming. The Resolute drifted silently in the black expanse of Sector K. 79. The destroyed colonies lay behind them like a graveyard, eerie and empty. Captain Lyra Dane sat in her chair, eyes fixed on the display, studying every movement of the alien fleet they had encountered. The humans had survived the first contact, but survival alone was not enough. They had to find a way to fight back and win. Lieutenant Halen broke the silence. Captain, our scans picked something unusual. There's a structure in orbit around the largest debris field. It's heavily shielded, but it's active. Signals encrypted. Not standard alien communication, something else. Lyra's eyes narrowed. Encrypted? Can we break it? Halen shook his head. Not easily, but we can try. It may take time, or a specialist. Then we get a specialist, Lyra said, determination in her voice. And quietly, I don't want the aliens knowing we're here. Aboard the Resolute, Dr. Maravas, the ship's communications and intelligence expert, began her work. Fingers flying over holographic keys, she dove into layers of alien encryption, bypassing firewalls and traps. Every signal was a puzzle, every byte a potential clue. Hours passed in tense silence. The crew waited, anxious, eyes flicking from one display to another. Then a breakthrough. Dr. Voss's voice rang out, steady but excited. Captain, I've got something. It's not what we expected. Lyra leaned forward. Go on. Dr. Voss tapped her console. A map of alien patrol routes, weak points in their shield formations, and timing windows appeared. This is a vulnerability. They think they're invincible, but there's a flaw in their coordination. A place where we can strike, where their defenses are weakest. And it's here. She pointed to a sector deep in the void. Halen whistled. You're saying we can fight them? And survive? Dr. Voss nodded. If we plan it carefully, yes. This is the edge we've been waiting for. A chance to turn the tables. Lyra felt a spark of hope. For the first time, humans had more than courage and unpredictability. They had knowledge. And knowledge was power. The next step was risky. They had to confirm the data in real time. The Resolute moved closer to the hidden sector, sensors on full alert. Shadows moved in the distance. The alien fleet still patrolling, silent and deadly. Every crew member understood the danger. One misstep, one detection, and they could be destroyed. As they approached the coordinates, a faint signal appeared. It was almost imperceptible. A ghost of energy pulses hidden among cosmic radiation. Dr. Voss's eyes widened. This is a distress beacon. And it's human. Lyra's heart raced. Human? From the colonies. Dr. Voss nodded. Yes. It's coming from one of the lost settlements. Someone survived the attacks. And they've been hiding. They've been trying to warn us. A surge of urgency swept through the bridge. The humans were not alone. There were survivors, and they held knowledge that could save them all. But time was short. The aliens were out there, waiting, observing, analyzing. Lyra's voice was firm. Prepare a stealth mission. I want a small team to recover the survivors and the information. No mistakes. Move quickly, move silently. The team suited up, their hearts pounding. Lieutenant Halen, Sergeant Talleyrand, and Dr. Voss joined Lyra in the landing craft. Outside, the void stretched endlessly, cold and unforgiving. The craft glided silently toward the hidden colony. Shields cloaked, engines muted. Every second counted. When they arrived, the scene was grim. Buildings lay in ruins, twisted metal jutting from scorched ground. But signs of life remained. Smoke curled from a small bunker, and faint lights blinked inside. Lyra signaled the team, and they moved cautiously, scanning for threats. Inside the bunker, they found survivors, scarred, weary, but alive. One man, an engineer named Joran Call, stepped forward. His eyes widened when he saw the humans. You came. I thought no one would survive. Lyra nodded. We're here to help. Tell us everything you know. Joran led them to a terminal, revealing maps, patrol schedules, and weaknesses in the alien fleet. Every detail was precise, every note critical. They've underestimated us, he said quietly. They never expected humans to adapt so quickly. They think we are weak, expendable, but we're not. The team absorbed every piece of information. This was the hidden edge, the knowledge that could turn survival into victory. Humans could strike where the aliens were vulnerable, anticipate their moves, and fight with precision. Suddenly, alarms blared. The alien fleet had detected unusual activity. Shadows flickered on the horizon, approaching fast. Lyra's mind raced. We've been spotted. Get back to the craft now. The team moved swiftly, carrying vital data. Outside, alien ships descended, their weapons humming with deadly energy. The humans' landing craft weaved through debris, evading blasts, shields flaring under impact. Every second was a gamble, every maneuver a test of skill and nerve. Lyra's voice was steady, commanding. Hold formation. Focus fire on the smaller interceptors. We protect the craft. Get the survivors to safety. The aliens pressed their attack, relentless and precise. But humans had learned to think differently. They exploited the terrain, using debris fields as cover, striking from unexpected angles. One by one, alien ships faltered under careful, calculated attacks. The craft carrying the survivors reached the Resolute, docking just as the alien fleet recoiled. The humans had survived again, but now they carried something more than courage. They carried knowledge. Knowledge that could change the course of the war, knowledge that gave them hope. Back aboard the Resolute, Lyra studied the data. Every map, every schedule, every weakness was meticulously logged. We have the edge now, she said softly. Not a guarantee, but a chance. A real chance. And that's all we need. Halen nodded, eyes on the display. They won't expect this. They'll keep underestimating us, and that's when we strike. Dr. Voss smiled faintly. We've learned their patterns, their mistakes. We can be faster, smarter, more precise. The advantage is ours if we act carefully. Lyra's gaze moved to the viewport, where the alien fleet lingered in the distance, still dangerous, still powerful, still deadly. But for the first time, humans felt something else, control. The hidden edge had been found, and it was theirs to wield. Prepare the strategy, Lyra ordered. We're going to show them that humans are not prey. We're hunters too. In the void beyond, the alien fleet watched, unaware that the humans had discovered their flaw. They believed they were invincible, that humanity could be erased with fear alone. But humans were unpredictable, adaptive, and relentless. And now, with the hidden edge in their hands, they were ready. The first strike would come soon. The galaxy would witness humanity's cunning, and the aliens would learn that survival was not the only thing humans excelled at. Humanity had found its edge, and with it, the war among the stars would change forever. The void of space stretched endlessly, black and cold, but the crew of the Resolute felt its weight pressing against their minds. Every star seemed distant, indifferent, as though the galaxy itself watched silently. Captain Lyra Dane stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the display. Alien signatures flickered in the distance, sharp and menacing, moving in perfect formation. "They're regrouping," Lieutenant Halen reported. "They're scanning for us? Or maybe they're tracking the survivors' escape. Either way, they're preparing something." Lyra's jaw tightened. "Good. Let them come. They'll walk right into our trap." The trap had been carefully planned. Using the intelligence gathered from the hidden colony and Dr. Voss's decrypted data, the humans had identified a narrow corridor of asteroid fields. The aliens' patrol patterns could be predicted with precision. The Resolute and its accompanying ships would lie in wait, shielded by the massive rocks and debris, invisible until the moment of attack. "Activate stealth mode. Full sensor blackout," Lyra ordered. "We wait for their fleet to enter the corridor. Timing is everything." The crew worked silently but efficiently, every hand trained for this moment. Weapons were charged but restrained, shields calibrated, engines ready for rapid maneuvers. The air in the cabin was tense, every heartbeat loud in the quiet void. Hours passed. The alien fleet remained elusive, circling the sector, probing, cautious. Then, like shadows rising from the darkness, they moved into the trap. The corridor of asteroids loomed ahead, twisting and narrow, perfect for human cunning. "They're coming," Halen whispered. "All ships in position." The humans waited, barely breathing, as the alien fleet advanced. Each ship entered the corridor, confident, arrogant, unprepared for the cunning of their prey. "Now!" Lyra shouted, and the ambush began. Pulse cannons erupted from the Resolute and its companion ships. Energy beams flashed through the void, striking the lead alien ships in precise locations identified by the intelligence they had gathered. Shields flared and flickered under the concentrated assault. The ambush worked perfectly. The aliens were forced to scatter, collisions with asteroids tearing smaller ships apart. The corridor echoed with explosions, fire and debris spiraling into the darkness. Every move had been calculated, every strike designed to maximize disruption while minimizing human risk. The aliens had underestimated humans again, relying on raw power and coordination, but humans had unpredictability on their side. "Keep the pressure up," Lyra commanded, voice calm but commanding. "Do not give them a chance to regroup." But the aliens were relentless. One of the massive ships broke through the corridor, shields glowing with energy, weapons charged. It fired a volley of destructive beams, forcing human ships into evasive maneuvers. A pulse slammed into the Resolute, shaking the hull. Sparks flew from control panels, alarms blaring across the bridge. "Damage report," Lyra demanded. "Minor shield breach on port side. Hull integrity stable," Halen replied. "Weapons systems fully operational. We can continue the assault." The human ships twisted through the asteroid corridor like shadows themselves, striking and weaving, their every movement unpredictable. They exploited the terrain using asteroids as cover, hitting from angles the aliens could not anticipate. Even in the chaos, the crew kept calm. Each pulse, each maneuver, each decision was deliberate, a calculated strike in the grand design of the ambush. Amidst the battle, a smaller alien fighter approached the Resolute directly, intent on striking the human ship's engines. Sergeant Talia Wren responded instantly, firing a counterbeam that disabled the craft, sending it spinning into the void. The humans had learned quickly. Their strength lay not in matching the aliens ship for ship, but in exploiting flaws, attacking with precision, and striking fear into the invaders. Hours felt like minutes as the battle raged. Energy beams lit the corridor, reflections of explosions flickering across the asteroids. Every human ship fought with determination, courage, and intelligence. The alien fleet, confident and methodical, began to falter under the unorthodox tactics. One by one, ships collided, shields failed, and their formation crumbled. Yet, amidst the victories, danger remained. One alien cruiser, larger than any human vessel, approached the Resolute. Its weapons charged, its hull glowing with deadly energy. The crew braced, every muscle tensed. "Target the engines, Halen. Focus fire," Lyra ordered. "All other ships, distract and divide." The crew executed perfectly. Pulse beams struck the alien cruiser at precise points revealed by the hidden colony's data. The ship shuddered, sparks and energy flares erupting across its surface. It tried to escape, but smaller human vessels cut off its path, forcing it back into the corridor where the asteroids trapped it. Finally, with a massive explosion, the alien cruiser was disabled. Debris floated in the void, silent testimony to humanity's cunning. The ambush had worked. The human fleet emerged victorious, battered but unbroken. Lyra took a deep breath, scanning the sensors. Status report. All ships operational. Casualties minimal. Alien forces are retreating, Halen replied. They're cautious now. They didn't expect this level of resistance. Dr. Voss stepped forward, reviewing the data. Captain, the ambush not only stopped their advance but gave us something more. Their formation patterns, response times, and weak points. We can use this to plan a decisive strike. They underestimated us, and that's exactly the opportunity we needed. Lyra nodded, determination in her eyes. Good. We survived, yes. But survival is not enough. This is our chance to strike back, to remind the galaxy that humans are not prey. Prepare the fleet. We'll use what we've learned. And next time, we won't just defend, we will attack. The alien fleet retreated into the darkness, disappearing into the void like shadows melting into night. They had underestimated humans, and that mistake had cost them. For the first time, the invaders felt uncertainty, a crack in their seemingly perfect tactics. On the Resolute, the crew celebrated quietly, not with reckless joy, but with the understanding that they had survived the impossible and gained invaluable knowledge. The ambush had proven humans were not just resilient. They were clever, adaptive, and fearless. But Lyra knew this was only the beginning. The aliens would regroup, adapt, and return with more firepower, more strategy, more ruthlessness. Humanity had survived the ambush, but the war among the stars was far from over. As the fleet moved out of the asteroid corridor, a new determination filled the crew. They had the upper hand, if only slightly, and they would use it. The galaxy had tried to erase humanity, but humans had survived, adapted, and struck back. And in the silent void beyond the stars, a thought echoed among the alien command. These humans, they are unlike anything we expected. Humans survived again. Humans adapted. And humans were learning to fight like predators in the void. The next battle would come. And when it did, humanity would be ready. The Resolute sailed through the void, no longer merely surviving, but hunting. Captain Lyra Dane stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the dark expanse where alien forces lurked. Every star seemed distant and cold, yet the emptiness now held possibility. A chance for humans to strike back and reclaim what had been lost. Captain, Lieutenant Halen said, pointing at the display. We've mapped out the alien fleet strongholds based on our ambush data. Their main command hub is here, beyond the last known patrol routes. Weak points identified, but heavily defended. Any attack will be dangerous. Lyra nodded. Dangerous? Yes. Impossible? No. They underestimated us once. We've survived and learned. Now we hit them where it hurts. The Resolute's small fleet moved with purpose, shadows against the stars. Their weapons were primed, shields at full capacity. Every crew member aware that this strike could decide the fate of humanity's colonies. The survivors from the hidden colony, engineers and strategists, coordinated with Dr. Voss to plan the attack. Every detail mattered. Hours later, they approached the first stronghold, a massive station orbiting a lifeless planet. Alien ships patrolled nearby, but humans were patient, waiting for the perfect moment. The corridor of approach was narrow, giving the fleet cover from the larger weapons of the station. "Stealth mode," Lyra ordered. "We move in silently. Precision is everything." The fleet slipped through the shadows, pulse weapons muted, shields humming softly. As they neared the stronghold, the humans could see it clearly for the first time. A massive structure, bristling with energy weapons, shield arrays, and docking bays full of fighters. The aliens had thought it impenetrable, untouchable. But they hadn't accounted for human cunning. Dr. Voss and Joran Kahl, the engineer from the hidden colony, coordinated the strike plan. Weak points in the station's energy grid were targeted. Small, vulnerable access points that could be overloaded to create chaos. If successful, the station would be crippled, giving humans a chance to escape or finish the attack. "Prepare to engage," Lyra said. "Target their shields first, then move in. Precision strikes only. We don't waste energy. We don't waste lives." As the fleet closed in, alien sensors detected the humans. Warning sirens flashed across the station, and the fleet of alien ships surged forward. Halen's voice was calm but urgent. "They've seen us. Shields at maximum. Brace for impact." Energy beams lit up the void. Alien weapons struck human shields, flaring violently but holding firm. The humans twisted and dodged, exploiting the calculated angles identified in their intelligence. Small bursts of pulse fire struck the station's weak points. Shields flickered and shimmered as energy surged and overloaded critical systems. The aliens responded with fury. Fighters darted from the station like swarms, attempting to cut off the human fleet. One of the smaller ships targeted the Resolute's engines, but human precision was unmatched. Sergeant Talia Wren fired a counterbeam, disabling the interceptor in a brilliant maneuver. The station's main weapons were brought online, and the humans felt the raw power of alien fire. A beam tore across the void, missing the Resolute by mere kilometers, leaving a trail of glowing debris. Every second was life or death. "Focus fire on the shield generators," Lyra shouted. "Dr. Voss, guide the strike." Energy pulses erupted from the human ships, striking precise points on the station's hull. Sparks and energy flares lit the darkness as the shield array began to collapse. The station reeled, alarms blaring, as humans pressed the advantage. Halen's voice broke through the chaos. "Captain, they're moving their reserve ships. Reinforcements are incoming." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "We anticipated this. Move to secondary targets. We hit their weapon systems now. Disable their attack, then we retreat before the main fleet can react." The humans moved with deadly precision. Every shot, every maneuver, every decision was calculated. Alien fighters fell under concentrated fire, shield generators sparked and failed, and energy beams lit the void with violent brilliance. The once impenetrable station now reeled under human ingenuity. Amidst the chaos, a human engineer aboard the station's disabled docking bay accessed alien communication lines. Using knowledge gained from the hidden colony, she planted viruses into the alien systems, sabotaging critical command functions. Lights flickered across the station as systems shut down one by one. "They won't see this coming," Dr. Voss said quietly. "Their command network is compromised. They think they're in control, but they're not." The human fleet pressed the attack, exploiting the confusion. Smaller vessels struck from unexpected angles. Larger ships focused on the crippled shield generators. Explosions rippled across the station, sending debris into the void. The aliens, powerful and ruthless, were caught off guard. Finally, the station's main defenses collapsed. The human fleet had won a decisive victory, though at a cost. Hulls bore scars, shields were weakened, and crew members were exhausted. But the triumph was undeniable. Lyra looked at the display, a grim satisfaction in her eyes. "Status report. All ships operational, Captain. Casualties minimal. The station is destroyed, and the alien fleet is in disarray," Halen replied. "They'll regroup. But this is the first real victory we've had against them." The crew allowed themselves a moment of relief. For the first time, humans were not just surviving, they were retaliating. The galaxy had seen humanity as weak, expendable, and inferior. Now, the invaders would learn otherwise. But Lyra knew the war was far from over. This victory was significant, yes, but the alien command hub was only one stronghold. The enemy would adapt, strengthen, and strike back with even greater force. Humans had won the battle, but the war among the stars continued. "Prepare for the next phase," Lyra said. "We have the upper hand, but we cannot be complacent. They will come for us, harder and faster. We must be ready." Halen nodded. "We'll be ready, Captain. They underestimated humans once. They won't again." Dr. Voss added, "We've learned their patterns. We've exploited their weaknesses. Next time, we can strike even deeper into their command structure. The galaxy will know that humanity is not to be ignored." The Resolute and its fleet moved on, leaving the shattered station behind. Among the stars, humans had fought back. They had shown cunning, bravery, and precision. And for the first time, the invaders understood the truth. Humanity was a force to be reckoned with. In the darkness beyond, alien command ships analyzed the data. Confusion, frustration, and fear rippled through their ranks. Their calculations had failed. Their assumptions had been wrong. Humans were not prey. They were hunters, adaptable and relentless. The victory was only the beginning. Humanity had survived, adapted, and now struck back. The galaxy would remember. The humans among the stars would not be erased. And somewhere deep in the void, the alien commanders whispered among themselves, "These humans, they are unlike anything we expected." Lyra Dane watched the stars through the viewport. Her crew had survived impossible odds. They had learned, adapted, and retaliated. But the mission was not over. The humans had begun their revenge among the stars. And the galaxy would never forget it. The void of space was silent, but every heartbeat aboard the Resolute echoed with anticipation. Captain Lyra Dane stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the distant horizon. The alien fleet had retreated, bruised and battered, but not destroyed. Humanity's colonies were gone, their survivors scattered, yet humans had survived. They had learned, they had adapted, and now it was time for revenge. "Captain," Lieutenant Halen said, voice tense, "we've analyzed all the intelligence from the ambush and the retaliation strike. The alien command hub is vulnerable. Their main fleet is divided, with reinforcements spread thin. If we strike now, we could end this war before it spreads further." Lyra's eyes narrowed, determination hardening her features. "Then we strike. Humanity does not forgive. Humanity does not forget. Prepare the fleet. This is our moment." The human armada moved like shadows among the stars, stealth engines humming softly. Every ship, from the smallest fighter to the largest cruiser, followed precise coordinates. Every crew member understood the gravity of the mission. Lives were at stake. Humanity's very existence hung in the balance. Failure was not an option. Dr. Mara Voss monitored alien communications in real time, decrypting messages and predicting maneuvers. "Captain, they're moving faster than expected. Reinforcements are converging on the command hub. If we wait too long, the advantage is lost." Lyra nodded. "Then we move now. Signal all ships. Synchronize attack pattern Delta 7. Focus fire on their engines, shields, and communication hubs. Disable their command network first, then we finish the rest." The fleet approached the alien command hub, a massive, dark fortress orbiting a barren planet. Its surface shimmered with energy shields, weapons bristling, and docking bays full of fighters. The aliens had assumed no human force could penetrate so far, so boldly. They were wrong. "Stealth disengage," Lyra commanded. "Engage full assault mode." Energy beams lit the void as human ships moved in perfect synchronization. Pulse weapons struck first at the shield generators, small but precise strikes destabilizing the alien defenses. Fighters weaved through the flares of alien energy, dodging death at every turn. The alien fleet retaliated with fury, but humans fought with intelligence and unpredictability. Every strike, every maneuver, every attack had been calculated. They exploited the enemy's arrogance, striking where the aliens were weakest. One by one, alien ships faltered, shields failing, weapons offline. "Captain, we've broken through the first defense layer," Halen reported. "The hub's outer shields are collapsing." Lyra's hands moved with precision across the controls. "Good. Prepare boarding teams. We need to secure the command hub, access their data, and ensure they cannot recover. Humanity will make sure of it." Inside the command hub, chaos erupted. Alien officers barked orders, but their fleet was fractured, their systems failing, and confusion reigned. Sensors blinked with warnings, alarms screamed through corridors. Yet no human ship had yet entered. Just strikes from outside, precise and overwhelming. Dr. Voss guided the boarding teams remotely. "They can't hide from us. Systems are down. We can infiltrate through their emergency docking ports. Move carefully, disable communications, and secure their leadership nodes." Lieutenant Halen's team docked first, entering the alien command hub silently. Their presence was ghost-like, unseen and unheard. As they planted explosives, sabotaged energy lines, and disrupted communications. Every move was calculated to maximize damage while minimizing risk to human lives. Outside, the human fleet unleashed the full force of their assault. Capital ships fired volleys at the crippled station, hitting weak points identified through hours of intelligence gathering. Fighters darted through debris, striking from unexpected angles, leaving alien ships in disarray. "Captain," Halen's voice came through comms, tense and urgent. "We've secured the command core. All alien communications offline. Their fleet is blind." Lyra's voice was steady, resolute. "Excellent. Now finish the operation. Destroy the hub, disable all systems, and ensure humanity's presence is felt across the stars." Explosions rippled through the command hub. Energy flares lit the darkness, debris spiraling into the void. Alien ships that survived the initial attack scrambled to regroup, but the human fleet struck relentlessly, leaving no room for escape. Every move, every strategy, every calculation the humans had made paid off. In the chaos, a surviving alien commander attempted to rally forces. But human fighters, agile and unpredictable, cut off reinforcements. The alien flagship, massive and powerful, was isolated. Pulse beams struck at critical systems, shields failing, weapons offline. With a final coordinated assault, the flagship exploded, leaving only debris in its wake. "Captain, the enemy command hub is destroyed. Their fleet is in full retreat," Halen reported. His voice trembled slightly, a mix of relief and triumph. Lyra allowed herself a brief smile. Humanity survives. Humanity fights. Humanity triumphs. The void of space was filled with silence again, but it was different now. Humans had not only survived, they had conquered, retaliated, and shown the galaxy their strength. Humanity's colonies might have been destroyed, but humanity itself was stronger than any alien force could imagine. Back aboard the Resolute, the crew watched the remains of the alien fleet scatter. The victory was hard-won, and the cost was high, but their message was clear. Humans were not weak. Humans were not expendable. Humans would fight, adapt, and survive no matter the odds. Lyra gazed at the stars, her thoughts distant yet focused. The galaxy had underestimated humans for centuries. They had assumed fear would keep humanity small, compliant, and contained. They were wrong. Humanity had risen, not just to survive, but to claim its place among the stars. Dr. Voss broke the silence, voice soft but proud. "They'll remember this. Every system, every command, every fleet. They'll know humanity is not to be trifled with." Halen added, "And we've sent a message to the rest of the galaxy. If anyone dares to erase humans again, they'll face the consequences." Lyra nodded. The mission was over, but the war for respect, for survival, and for humanity's place among the stars would continue. And humans were ready for whatever came next. The Resolute and its fleet moved forward, not as fugitives or survivors, but as hunters, conquerors, and protectors. Humanity's revenge was complete. The galaxy had learned a lesson that would echo for generations. Humans were not weak. Humans were unstoppable when pushed to the edge. And in the silent darkness of space, a new understanding spread among the stars. Humanity had risen. Humanity had fought. Humanity had triumphed. The stars themselves seemed to watch, as if acknowledging the arrival of a force no enemy could erase. Humanity had taken revenge among the stars, and the galaxy would never forget.